Hi folks, Debbie Ray here with a tour of my edible container garden, or vegetable containers. And I'm starting out on my flower bestrewn deck so that you can see how I've incorporated edibles into some of my ornamental containers. I've got Swiss chard over here, and I have a red cabbage here. And then my favorite are these window boxes. These were inspired by both the Gardener's Supply website and the Proven Winners idea book for 2019, because they both had ideas for what they called a cocktail garden. And I've used some of the same plants as well as similar ones that I had available here. So each of these window boxes has a strawberry plant, an ever-bearing strawberry plant in the middle. They're trailing down. They've been producing fruit, and when they flower, they have a bloom that's the color of the Calibrachias I put in here. These are two Super Bells varieties from the color of the middle of this flower and the outside pink. So these kind of coordinate when the strawberry is in bloom. And they're Super Bells from Proven Winners. And I have an ornamental sweet potato vine. And then most of the rest here is ornamental peppers. These started out yellow, so again that coordinates nicely with the ornamental Super Bell there. I have edible flowers here. That's calendula that I got from winter sowing. This is Malabar spinach, which is supposed to vine, but it hasn't. I started this from seed myself, and I don't know, maybe it was late in getting out here. I have three kinds of basil going in these plants. There's the purple basil, regular sweet basil, and my personal favorite, lime basil, hiding back here. And I have both mint and lemon balm on the ends of these window boxes. And I also have curly parsley as an edible filler. So that's my little tableside edible garden here. I also have a few pots with just a rosemary in them. One here near the grill. I've got lemongrass, which I've overwintered several years in this pot, and I like to keep it here in front of our seating area when we don't have a fire going, to keep mosquitoes away. And it's a pot that's small enough it's easily moved when we do have a fire in that pit. And another rosemary here on the side table. The thing to remember if you're growing edibles among your ornamentals is that when you fertilize, go with an organic fertilizer so that you don't feel bad about eating any of the greens and other fruits you pick from your ornamental containers. Now these containers here are not mixed in with ornamentals. It's just one per pot. But I've made an ornamental sort of arrangement using galvanized metal containers and bird houses, so it still looks pretty. These are just small 10-inch pots, self-watering, and these three pots each have something from the Proven Winners Proven Harvest line of edibles, and then these smaller pots have scented geraniums in them. And those are the edibles that are on my deck. Out here on the driveway is where I usually have my vegetable containers. Now I've added more containers this year thanks to a friend who moved and gave me her bigger pots. So on the ends here I've got eggplant. This one is already fruiting. And always on the edge, on this south facing driveway, is the best place to grow peppers. So I have sweet bell peppers as well as jalapenos and hot peppers growing here. This is where they are very happy with the heat and sun. And then behind them are some of my bigger tomatoes, things that I did not have room for in my kitchen garden. And this gives me a chance to grow a greater variety. Not everything I want to grow fits in that garden, especially now that I'm trying to space things farther apart. I'm even spacing these pots farther apart than I used to, trying to prevent those soil-borne and fungus diseases, like you can see starting here. I need to do some pruning of this one. This pot is a smart pot, and it is working out extremely well. So I've got a full-size, one of my favorite varieties, Sweet 100's cherry growing in here. These can go to be quite big. I planted this one later than the ones in my raised beds, so those are already fruiting in the kitchen garden. But this one is going to produce more of my favorite summer candy fruit. So I have one of each variety that I started from seed out here. The small one over here had a problem when I first planted it. It was a few inches high, and somehow it got nicked on the edge here down by the soil level. So I built it back up, and it's alive. So it too it's going to be slower to fruit now, obviously. But because I'm doing more of these, I've expanded my vegetable containers over to other parts of the driveway. So I used to have these smaller blue ones with those other bigger containers, but now I've moved them down here by the garage, the rain barrels, the potting bench, and these are more tomato varieties. This one was a mistake. I thought I had planted one of my tomatoes that I had started from seed in it, and then when it actually grew, it turned out to be, I think, it was starting to flower red, and then it began dying off because, thinking it was a tomato, I was giving it plenty of water, and it did not like the water. I think it was a red salvia of some kind. I have no idea how that got here. A bird or something, some gift from nature. But the tomato that I had planted in here, which had been green zebra, is long gone, so I won't have any of that variety this year. I've got another rosemary here, along with the one success from my winter sowing jug of rosemary. And over here in these black pots and this basket is mostly potatoes. It's fun to try to grow them. And I haven't weeded these, so there are some grassy weeds in there, but I also did purposely mix in nasturtiums among them. And I had an extra ground cherry plant, so that's in this pot. And I think I have bush cucumbers or some kind of squash. These were things that were I found in clumps in my other containers, so I've just spread them out to see what they are as they grow. This is where I had hoped to grow a small bush pumpkin, but those seeds didn't do well this year. And then these are just things I haven't managed to plant out yet. So those are my vegetable containers this year. Oh, I'll show you the two I have up front among the ornamentals too. Here they are. These are my front yard containers. I've got Swiss chard growing in this big one, and I have another red cabbage growing in that one. Both the cabbages suffered damage from worms earlier, and I picked them off right before 4th of July. So that's it, all my edible containers. Thanks for watching. Well, let's not forget this container at the end of my kitchen garden. I pulled out all the lettuce that bolted, and I'm trying to grow some purple cauliflower as a fall crop. I'll let you know how that goes. So even if you don't have room for a full-size kitchen garden, containers are an excellent option. Thanks for watching.